Public order policing have been deployed to the CBD. This is over tension between law enforcement and taxi drivers following, we understand, the impounding of a number of taxis. Well, our reporter Nobesuthu Hejana is on site now. Nobesuthu, good evening to you. And I am just seeing rows and rows of taxis. What is going on there?
Certainly, Sally. In fact, I won't waste any time because Butandekile Peter needs to rush to a meeting right by the robots with his colleagues. But Peter, can you just tell us about the incident? What actually transpired here that caused the taxi drivers to block these roads?
Siswa mna anando endiyaziyo ngamandla into endiyaziyo leba sifonelwe ngumphathi wethu ukuthi khona ingxaka apha town kukho uhluthahlutano phakathi kodriver bethu no nabagosa ezendlela. So ke ebesithumele ukuthi masize kule ndawo sizosabela ukuthi kwenzakala ntoni, no matter what happened kuzokwazi ukuthi kuvuleke indlela. So sesalapha ke safika eziba besithunyiwe senza njalo sakwazi ukuthi sithethe no driver kunoba bavula indlela sathethe nabaphathi amagosa ezendlela. Yona information ephelele andinayo ncam kusafuneka ke senze i-investigation ko driver bethu.
Uthakuthwano olumhlambi bolumayelana nantoni?
Eziba senditshilo siswam ndithi andikabi nayo ncam information epheleleyo. Funeka sama udibana nodriver sisabele kukho odriver kamnandi ababanjiweyo ngaba ke ngoku funeka sisabele kubo into yoba ikuqhubeke ntoni kanye because lube khona uhluthahlutano phakathi kodriver namagosa ezendlela.
Bangaphi odriver ababanjiweyo tata?
Okwangoku odriver abanjiweyo save ngabo bayi-6.
Kuthiwa babanjelwe ntoni mhlambi?
Siswam eziba besenditshilo andikabi nayo impendulo yakho. Yile nto safuneka siyisabele kwabadriver nangoku sihamba sibheke epolice station for uyosabela loo nto leyo.
Njengoba sibona ngoku iiteksi zihamba, ingaba mhlambi niye nafikelela kwisigqibo or kwisombululo malunga namagosa ezendlela kwakunye nani noonoteksi?
Asikabikho isigqibo isolution esesaba nayo leba qha ngokwangoku makuvuleke i-city qhubekeke abantu bagoduka babheke ezindlini zabo because kulate ngoku le nto ayizukwazi ukwenzeka ubusuku bonke apha because abantu begodukile bashiya abantwana ezindlini.
Kasixelele mhlambi ngengxaki enithi niye nifumaniseke nikuzo ningonoteksi malunga ne-City of Cape Town ingakumbi xa kuthethwa ngengxaki zo-impoundwa kweeteksi.
Siswam inkulu kakhulu andifuna ukuqhatha ndingathetha kutshona ilanga. Ndingathandi ukuthi ndingakuniki information eshotayo. If ever ngakhona ithuba ukuthi si-organize then I'm willing ukuthi ndiyenze loo nto leyo. Si-organize usuku okanye appointment sokunike kona lukhona ikhona ewe into asoneliseke kuhlobo asiqhuba ngalo usithi apha kweli candelo lapha eKapa.
Ingaba mhlawumbi ungasithela thupha ukuba zeziphi mhlawumbi ezinye zezikhalazo zenu ninazo ngaku-City of Cape Town?
Zii-impoundments seswam ayikho enye into. Zii-impoundments impounde imoto ezine-permits nemithetho yakhe emitsha athe ayirelease. Mithetho leyo bekade nayo isolution yayo bekade fine. If ever umdriver kanayo i-PDP ebefine but ngoku into ayenzayo udecide uyithatha imoto webhayi ne-PDP. So i-question yami ke ngoku mna esinayo sine-questions ezininzi nathi singoonoteksi ukuthi ngaba siphila yeyiphi le country siphila kuyo because kwezinye iprovince ayenzeki le nto le. Enkosi.
Well, Sally, that was Mr. Peter from Carter, who was basically saying that they were called here by their superiors to come and try and resolve the issue here. And he does talk about the fact that there are ongoing issues between the taxi drivers in the province with the City of Cape Town, especially when it comes to the issues of impounding. But we know that according to the statement that was issued earlier on from the City of Cape Town, they did mention that enforcement operators around the CBD resulted in several taxis being impounded. Taxi drivers assembled on the rank and assaulted one of the traffic officers. The scene grew tense as several taxis took blockading the exit route in the rank. And we also know that the City of Cape Town mentioning that this incident started at around about 4:15 this afternoon. And like we've heard from Mr. Peter talking about the fact that there's been a number of commuters who were left stranded. But what we see now is that the traffic is flowing. There seems to be some sort of an agreement between the taxi drivers or the taxi associations with the traffic officials here to ensure that at least most people are being transported home, as we see that the CBD or the town, it's still congested due to that blockage that we saw earlier on. We also heard from other traffic officials in the area that were saying that stun grenades were fired to try and disperse when the situation was a bit tense earlier on.
Yeah, and so Nobesuthu, am I correct that what we're seeing really is the taxis that were blockading are now in fact trying to leave the city centre? So that's my one question. And the other one, this issue of permits has been an ongoing point of tension with local authorities. Taxis being impounded without, if you don't have a permit, you get impounded. Why are these taxis not with their permits? What's the issue?
So some taxis would normally say, or from what we've been hearing from them through the interviews that we've held with the taxi associations, that sometimes a taxi would either drive on the yellow line on the N2 and then they'll be fined, but they're saying that the amount that they're being fined, it's a bit unfair because when they can't afford, or the taxi is found not to be in a safe state, then the city would impound due to maybe the number of fines that particular driver has over his license, and the amount then that they have to pay is too much. Sometimes they say they can't even afford to pay those fines, and this results in many of the taxis being kept by the city of Cape Town. But we've been hearing from Mr. J.P. Smith, who in the past has mentioned that, the city will not stop in ensuring that the roads are safe and that they provide commuters of Cape Town with the best services. So they will not stop up until the roads or the drivers adhere to the rules. But then it's a bit of an issue between the city and the taxi drivers. So it's been ongoing for quite a number of years now. The taxi drivers accusing the city of Cape Town of trying to interfere in the taxi industry.
And I think all those taxis now are trying to move through, and there is some movement in the traffic, but it looks like quite a jam still. Thank you so much for updating us what is going on in the city of Cape Town. eNCA reporter Nobesuthu Hejana.